McDonald. On row number 2, Axel Charpentier for the EKR team in cart number 247, and the Dutchman Joey van Splunteren in cart number 273. Jonathan Brown on row number 3 in cart number 215, and Jan Bouvier from France on cart 230. There's Bouvier. It's a Techno chassis, and Techno, a company set up in the late 60s by the Pedrozzani brothers from Italy, and they started building karts. Then they decided to build some Formula 3 cars, and then they thought, well, if we build karts, we build Formula 3 cars, let's build a Formula 1 car as well. And so they did. It wasn't very good, but they did. And they raced it, and then when that money ran out, they went, well, let's go back to making karts. Seems to work for us. And they did. And they still do. Jan Bouvier driving one of those karts, number 230. Behind him on the grid, Frank Chapard on a red speed, number 234 from France, and Israel's Ido Cohen, who's just watched his teammate Jordan Brown-Nutley win that last race. Alejandro Lajo Lopez in kart 233 starts from the 5th row alongside Oliver Clark from Kings Lynn, the same Norfolk town that Martin Brundle is from. He drives for the M Sport team, Kieran Crawley's outfit, and last year Oliver Clark was one of the British drivers that represented Team UK in the CIK-FIA Academy. Louis Westover for the KSR team in kart number 241 starts on the inside of row number 6 alongside Antoine Percival. Then it is Carlos Dembilo from Spain and João Ferreira from the Mad Croc team from Portugal on the outside of row number 7. Max Barnett, the Anglo-American driver in kart 252, starts 15th alongside Simão Ventura from Portugal in kart number 226. Patrick Kibble, who retired from his opening heat race, the Metro Group driver in kart 214. He'll be looking for a better result from the inside of row number 9 alongside Vincent Mastero, Jacques Johns, Marius Poulsen and Henry Laws. They are your 21 starters. There's the number 224 kart of Carlos Dembilo, the CRG driver, set to start from the 7th row. But up at the front, Carlos Leon does not have... Oh, and what's the problem there for Dean McDonald? Dean McDonald slowing. Oh, dear. McDonald, hand out of the cart over the radiator, his left-hand side, trying to adjust something. And we have not had a start. The lights are still red. So McDonald, it looked as though when McDonald tried to accelerate, as they came out of the final corner, something broke and McDonald is not up to speed. Oh dear McDonald. Well, I don't know obviously what will happen in the 3rd heat race, but Dean McDonald is busy punching his tickets into the second chance race tomorrow. That will be 2 DNFs, and I can't see, well, he's not up to speed. He's making no attempt to even try and catch the rest of the pack. That's because I don't think he can. Maybe a throttle cable, maybe something has gone wrong. So it looks like we're going to be down to 20 starters. And Joey van Splunteren in kart number 273, there he is, that very distinctive flame liveried crash helmet. He moves on to the outside of the front row. Now, are we going to get a start this time around? Yes, we do. Oh, but Van Splunteren gets caught napping there. Well, wakey, Joey. I know you've been away for 7 years, but... he allowed Carlos Leon then a free run into the first corner. Axel Charpentier is slightly into second place. Now Van Splunteren wakes up and he sends one at the inside there of, I think that may have been Jonathan Brown or maybe even Jan Bouvier going into turn number 3 there to retake third place rather. And Frank Chapard on that red and silver and black liveried red speed kart. He moves into 4th place. But it's Van Splunteren 3rd, then it's Chapard in the 234 in 4th. The second of those red and black coloured karts, I think, is the EKR kart of Axel Charpentier in kart number 247. In 5th position. Then it looks like Ido Cohen for Dan Holland Racing. And behind Ido Cohen, well, we'll see. There's a whole gaggle of karts coming through there. But at the front, Carlos Leon. And Axel Charpentier 1st and 2nd, so it's not Charpentier back in 5th. Splunteren, Van Splunteren in third. Jan Bouvier. It is the techno of Bouvier. Number 230. They're running in fifth position. Then Alejandro Lahore Lopez in sixth position. Ido Cohen there in 235 is seventh, just in front of the pink and purple liveried cart of Louis Westover in cart number 241. Louis, who is driving for the KSR team, the 14-year-old from Colchester, who says this is his favourite track. He's in front of Oliver Clark. Then Jonathan Brown in cart 215. So Brown, the Irishman, has slipped back from 5th of the grid down to 10th. Then it's Carlos Dembilo and the number 216 cart of Antoine Percival. But Leon continues to lead. Charpentier going with him. So Charpentier, that EKR cart, the EKR team. So obviously that team building their own chassis. Oh, and a change for third. Van Splunteren just gets nudged wide going into the first corner. Well, Frank Chapard and Jan Bouvier, the two Frenchmen, making their way past Van Splunteren, and Chapard just showed Van Splunteren a nose, and Van Splunteren, as he was turning in, saw that nose and thought, oh, if I turn in now, there's going to be an incident, so he checked up ever so slightly. It cost him momentum. It got him onto the marbles, the dirty part of the track, and cost him a couple of places. The two leaders, though, now pulling away as they head down the back straight. There is Leon, followed by Charpentier. Charpentier, who is racing under a British flag, is most of his family are French, but has spent more time than ever in Spain. And now there goes Bouvier up into P3. It's a shame that there's not a couple of others, because then I could call those immortal lines. It's techno, 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 but I can't possibly do that. That would be just wrong. Van Splunteren in fifth position, under pressure from the number 251 cart of Oliver Clark. Clark, that M Sport machine, chasing him down. He's got Westover behind him. Then it is the number 233 cart of Alejandro Lahore Lopez, that Uno Matricula K-Team cart. We saw the junior team member Isidro Caneas win earlier on. And the top two, they've got a breakaway. Bouvier and Chapard, the two Frenchmen, have got to kind of work together now. We're on lap number 4 out of 10. There goes Patrick Kibble through your screen. That bright, luminous yellow liveried cart. Just coming out of the final corner now. That's the Metro Group cart of number 214, Patrick Kibble. Behind them, behind Kibble, you've got Henry Laws from the back of the grid in cart 242. Then you've got Max Barnett for the MLC team. And then Jack Johns. So Jack Johns, who I know is, used to be run by Delta Karting, a team that is run by my good friend Dean Thomas. And Dean Thomas and his wife actually have given up karting and they're into their bodybuilding. I think they came second in Mr. and Mrs. Universe or something like that. Not to be messed with or disagreed with, even though they're from Swansea and support Swansea City. It's a trifling issue. But they are watching back home in Swansea. Their former driver, Jack Johns, up into 17th place rather. And Jack has only been racing for a couple of years. There's Bouvier out of the final corner with Chapard right behind him. The gap to the top two as we move into the second half of this race, 2.3 seconds. It's now grown to 2.4. So Carlos Leon and Axel Charpentier, and it's Charpentier who's really the key to this race. He is allowing Leon to just carry on. Charpentier is probably thinking to himself, well, I could try and make a move, but if I did with 4 laps to go, it's only going to bring loads of other people into the battle. So I'll just pull away. Leon's not holding me up too much, and maybe in the last lap or two, I'll get him all to myself. Behind them, Bouvier, Chapard have been caught by Oliver Clark. Clark, then Lahore Lopez, Brown, Westover, and Ido Cohen are all together. And that's the battle for third place. Here they come down the back straight. As the camera cuts away to the two leaders through number 2, turn 13. Soon you're going to see a huge gaggle behind them. Jan Bouvier is still at the head of it with Frank Chapard right behind him. Oliver Clark, though, is in 5th place. In number 251 and closing right in There goes Clark through your screen. He's now past Chapard into 4th position. Lajo Lopez there, the number 233 kart with that Uno and the Spanish flag or the European flag on the side of that kart. He's the fastest man on the circuit, but now he's got Chapard in front of himself. So Lajo will have to try and find a way past Chapard quickly, or else he'll lose the momentum. And it looks as though he was trying to do that there. And did he make the move? Yes, he did. So Frank Chapard down to 6th position in the red speed kart. And Carlos Leon is pulling away. Carlos Leon, the Formula Alonso Racing driver, head down. And you can see they're not like just nodding for the sake of it. They're just trying to create a better airflow over the top of their NASA panel. And Charpentier, last time around, Charpentier, it was a lap of, well, it was a little bit slower than Carlos Leon. Here's Oliver Clark. Clark to the inside of Bouvier. Moves him aside, going through turn number 6. And so Oliver Clark, who I said earlier, has got to be very careful. Oliver Clark can't attack the curbs because he's one of the lightest drivers. Now, each class has got a weight limit, so the kart and the driver have got to weigh a certain amount. So if you're a lighter driver, you've got to put more lead on your kart. Well, Oliver Clark is carrying nearly 30 kilos of lead, which makes the chassis very, very heavy and puts an awful lot of stress on the chassis. So Clark is learned that he can't hit the curbs, because every time you bump a curb in that 251 kart and the jolt of the energy goes through it, he's been going through a fair number of karts this year just because he's got so much lead on it. So he's having to drive very smoothly. He's got a pack of 2, 4, 6, 8 drivers behind him. Louis Westover is trying to now pass Chapard and Bouvier, and Westover has moved up there, and the 2 Frenchmen, Chapard in the 234 and Bouvier in the 230 kart, are beginning to lose ground. Joey Van Splunteren as well in the number 273 has also lost a little bit of ground. So it's Leon, Charpentier, Clark, Lajo Lopez, Bouvier, Westover, then Jonathan Brown, followed by Frank Chapard now down in 8th. Then Van Splunteren in 9th, and Ido Cohen at the back of this group in 10th place. There's that bright turquoise blue kart at the back of that pack. There's Clark now trying to hold off Lajo Lopez as we start the final lap. Up at the front, we're focusing on this battle because Carlos Leon has broken clear of Axel Charpentier. Oliver Clark in 3rd place defending. There goes Leon through turn number 3. Charpentier will not catch him. Clark has got his hands full with Alejandro Lajo Lopez as they go through turn number 5. Now, there's the 2 leaders, and now here on your screen is Clark fending off the number 233 kart for 3rd place. Louis Westover just flashed through your screen there in the pink and purple race suit. He is up into 5th place, and he's trying to hold off Jan Bouvier. Then behind them you can see the Mad Croc, that grey and white Mad Croc kart. That looks like Henry Laws battling with João Ferreira. But the leader, Carlos Leon, controlling this pace beautifully. The first real race we've seen where somebody has dominated all day. Leon looks over his shoulder and goes, "Ha! I'm miles in front. That was easy." Well, maybe not easy, but certainly comfortable. Axel Charpentier takes a well-deserved 2nd place for the EKR team and the EKR chassis. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a good result for Charpentier. And Alejandro Lajo Lopez, he did pass Oliver Clark right at the end on the run to the line. He takes 3rd place. Clark slipping back to 4th. Louis Westover takes 5th position. Jan Bouvier, he finishes 6th, followed by Jonathan Brown, the Irishman, for MLC Motorsport. Then Frank Chapard, the red speed, comes home in 8th place. Joey Van Splunteren, he'll be disappointed with 9th. And Ido Cohen rounds out the top 10. From Spain, Carlos Dembilio on the CRG finishes 11th. Henry Laws in kart number 242. He is the second of the KSR drivers home in 12th.